It's going to be a stretch class today. We're going to start out with our broom, yardstick, whatever you have. We're just going to nice and slowly take your hands just outside your shoulders. Bring that up. Stretch it back. And come down nice and slow. Go up. Stretch it back. You should feel a stretch probably in the front of your shoulders and possibly in the back. When you're coming back, squeeze those shoulder blades. It's a very small movement, not very far. Slide one hand to the end of whatever you're holding. Take that and push it up, probably to 2 o'clock on a clock. You should feel it right here in your chest, possibly in the back of your shoulder. Just hold it here for about 5 or 6 seconds. Trying to get a deeper stretch than you normally do. Slowly release it. Now push it straight out to the side. We've worked shoulders pretty good this week, so trying to get a little stretch. Take that broom or whatever you have. If you have to, I have to rotate it because I have a broom on the end. Put it at the end of your other hand. Push up until about 11 o'clock. I gotta get rid of this. There we go. Slowly come back down. Push it out to the side. Come back down, take your hands out wide again, take that broom up and over, set it on your shoulders, not against your neck, just down on your shoulders, and we're going to do a simple hip hinge. Feet are shoulder width apart. You're just going to slowly bend down, kicking that butt back, looking at the ground. You should feel the stretch all the way down your back side. Hold it here for a moment. Slowly stand back up. Squeeze your butt at the top. Slowly come back down. You should be looking at the ground, not forward, because you want to stay in line. Hold that stretch there for a second. Slowly come back up. One more time. Bring it down. Slowly hold it. From this position, rotate your right arm toward the ground. Your left arm is going to go toward the ceiling. A little bit of rotation. Slowly come back to center, opposite way. One more time, back to center. Rotate left up toward the ceiling, right toward the floor. Back to center and up. Slowly come back to center. Slowly stand yourself back up. Take that broom off your shoulders or whatever you have. Take it back behind you. Arms are outside of your shoulders. You're going to pull that up. Arms are going into goalposts. Don't Don't shrug when you're doing it. Set your shoulders and bring it up. So we don't want to turn into a turtle. We want to keep our shoulders down. It might take you a couple times to get it. And you feel the stretch. Your hands, you want to be nice and straight. You don't want them turned like that. No motorcycle hands, just nice and straight. Slowly release that. One more time. Slowly release that. Set this on the side. Like I said, we're doing a stretch class, but we're also working on our posture today. So we're going to work on our scapulas. What we're going to do is we're going to set our shoulders, put those shoulder blades in your back pocket. Bring those arms up to goalpost arms. Squeeze those elbows like they're going into your back pockets. Come back up. Squeeze those elbows like you're going into your back pockets. Hold it there. Come back up. Working on the scapular rotation. Standing tall. Release and come back up. 2 more times. Release, come back up. 1 more time. Squeeze. You can also do this up against a wall. Come back up. The next thing we're going to do is some pelvic tilts. We're going to pretend we have a bucket. We're going to put our hands on the top of our hips. We're going to tip our bucket backwards. So we're going to dump water backwards. So our pelvis is here, and we're going to tip it backwards. We're going to come back to center. We're going to tip it forwards. Come back to center, tip it backwards. I'm forward now. I'm going to hold it for a couple seconds. I'm going to come back to neutral. Sorry, I was going backwards first. And now I'm going forwards. Now I'm dumping that water out of the front, coming back to find pelvic neutral. When you find neutral, that's a place that you would like to keep your pelvis. If you feel your pelvis is pulling forward, you probably have a tight posterior chain. If you feel your pelvis is dumping your water forward, you probably have a tight anterior chain. Or weakness, either way. Shake that out. Take your left foot, put it forward. Right foot, put it back. Hands on your hips. Find that pelvic neutral and slowly just lean back. Feel a little bit of stretch in your back. Work in those extensors. You could possibly feel it in your calf as well, just because the position that we're holding. And you might possibly feel it in the front of your hips, because we are pushing our hips a little forward. We're going to hold this for about 5 more seconds. Slowly come back up and switch sides. Your right leg will be forward, your left leg will be back. You'll slowly rotate your pelvis forward and your back. Feel the stretch in your lumbar spine. Slowly come up, shake that out. Feet are just about hip width apart. We're going to do a forward fold. We're going to feel the stretch in our hamstrings. So I'm going to lift my hands up, bring them back down to center just because I'm a yoga person. And I'm going to slowly go to the ground. I cannot make it to the ground because I am extremely tight. Knees not locked, but not bent either. Hang out here for about 5 seconds. Slowly come back up. Reach your arms up, go back a little bit. One more time, forward fold down. Feeling it in your hamstrings and your calves. Slowly come back up, reach it up, stretch it out. One more time. Each time you probably should be getting just a hair closer to the floor. If you're to the floor, you're golden. Slowly stand back up. My earring is caught on my sweater. You're going to take your right arm and bring it to the ceiling, and your left arm is going to grab your quad. So you'll be like this. Feel the stretch. Quad is kind of touching the knee. If you need to use a wall, you can use a wall. Then you're going to take a step forward and switch that. I got to bring my leg up like this and then get my quad. Put that foot down, switch. Woo. Walking backwards now, the foot goes back, leg comes up. Feel the stretch. You can also do this on a chair or a couch, whatever you have. Step it back, switch legs. And you can also be holding your broom or your stick to provide balance. Set that leg down, sort of shake it out. Take your right leg, step it out in front of you a little bit, heel on the floor, toes toward your nose. Slowly take your hands and slide them down your leg. My back leg is bent, my front leg is not. You should feel the stretch again right through here. The harder you pull your toes to your nose, the more you're going to feel that in your calf. This is a standing hamstring stretch. Slowly come back up, shake that out. We'll do that one more time. Leg is out, toes are up. Slowly go back down. Slowly come back up, switch sides. Left leg's out front, toes are coming to your nose. This is as far as you might be able to go, and that's okay. If not, slowly go down. This side is a lot tighter for me. Toes to my nose. And with all these stretches, you don't have to move on. If you feel good in that stretch, that's fine. Slowly come back up. This is your workout, your time. Slowly go back down one more time, toes to your nose. Slowly come back up, shake that out. We're gonna stretch our IT band. Feet are shoulder width apart. Take your left foot, put it behind your right foot. Take your hands, reach down, sorry, I was going the wrong way, toward the instep of your back foot. Ooh. So I'm reaching for my arch of my back foot. You should feel the stretch right down your IT band. Slowly come back up, switch your feet. So now my right foot is behind my left foot. And I'm reaching back for that arch. Ooh. Slowly come back up. Right foot's going forward, left foot's going back. Knee is straight. Feel the stretch in your calf, in the back leg. Try to keep that heel on the ground. Toes are pointing forward like you're going down a railroad track. Slowly bend that knee. That heel probably will come up off the ground. Now you're stretching your soleus. Switch sides. Right leg is now in back, left leg is in front. Heels on the ground. Slowly leaning, going slightly, ever so slightly forward. You should feel the stretch in your calf. Slowly bend that knee. You should feel the stretch in your calf, but in a different location now. Should feel a little deeper. Shake that out. The next thing we're going to do is plank to downward dog, or upward dog to downward dog. So you'll walk your hands down your legs, find the floor. If you need to bend your legs, it's okay. Come out. Legs are on the ground, pushing yourself up. If you don't have the full, you can go down to your elbows. It's fine. Curl your toes. Push yourself back into downward dog. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Slowly walk that back out. Push yourself up. If you have back problems, do not push yourself up. Slowly push yourself back to down dog. Oops, too far. My hamstrings are super tight. My toes or my heels will not go to the ground. If you got it, slowly walk your feet to your hands. Deep squat. If you don't have it, just do a little squat. If you're in a deep squat, take your elbows and push your feet out. Toes and heels should be on the ground. Shoulders should be over your hips. Slowly rock forward. put your knees on the ground. Feet are behind you. We're in tall kneeling. Hands are going to be on the top, the crest of your hips. All we're going to do is we're going to hip hinge and slowly go back down to your heels and slowly come up. When you get to the top, press your pelvis forward, feel a little bit of stretch, squeeze your butt. Slow and controlled going down. You may or may not meet your heels. The tighter you are, the more restricted you'll be. Slowly come up, squeeze those hips and squeeze that butt. One more time going down. Coming up. Curl those toes under if you have it. Feel the stretch in your toes. One more time, slowly going down to your heels. Slowly coming up. One more time, going down. Coming up. One last time, and we'll give those toes a break. Coming down. Going up. Slowly tip yourself forward. You're on all fours. Your hands are under your shoulders. Your knees are under your hips. Take those feet up. Put those feet together. Wag the dog. Wag, wag, wag. Slowly walk those hands out in front of you. You're still on your knees. And your arms are now straight out. And you should feel the stretch in your shoulders. And in your lats. A lot of times we'll go down to the child's pose position. This time we're staying up on our knees. From this position, take your left arm, thread it through your right arm. Looking under your armpit and through your arm, threading the needle. Slowly bring that arm back, place it where you got it, pick up that right arm, put it under your armpit, looking under your armpit, threading that needle. Slowly come back up, come to your sit bones, cross your legs. Right hand's going to be on the ground. Left arm is going to go up and over. You should feel the stretch down your side. If you can get that elbow to the ground, more power to you. I can't. Don't lean forward. Going straight over. Arms going, finding your ear and going over. You should totally feel the stretch right down your side. Whew. Switch sides. Nice and slow. I always find something that's tight when I do this. That's more tight than I thought. Oh. Slowly come back up. Extend those legs out into a V. Take your hands on the floor. Walk them out as far as you can. Obviously, I am not that flexible. You should feel the stretch in your adductors on the inside. Pulling those toes to your nose, you'll feel it on the outside. I mean on the back side, not the outside, I'm sorry. Slowly walk back up. Walk that back out. Slowly come back up. We're going to lay on our back and we're going to do a hip hike. So the first and foremost thing is we're going to squish that marshmallow into the floor. We're going to place our hands on our crests of our hips. We're going to take our left leg and pull it towards your ear and come back down. Your hands are on your pelvis. You should feel your pelvis go up on that side, and then we're going to switch sides. Then we're going to pull our right leg up. So hike your hip up, bring it down. Hike your hip up, come it down. It's very small movement. See, my left is going further up than my right, and then switch. Switch. Keeping your back, squishing that marshmallow. Hiking your hip. We just stretched out our quadratus lumborum. Now we're using our quadratus lumborum. That's the muscle that hikes your hip. Slowly bring both legs into your chest. Ooh. Little happy baby. Roll on that spine. Take those feet, soles of your feet together. Bring them down to your butt and slowly bring them down to the floor. So now we're laying in a supine butterfly groin stretch. Making sure we're squeezing that marshmallow. Back is not arched. Externally rotating the hips, getting a stretch. You can take your hands and give yourself a little overpressure if you'd like. Slowly bring those legs back up. Shake it out a little bit. One more time. Back into butterfly. Come back up. Take those hands. Clasp your fingers together. Bring them behind your head. You should possibly feel this in your chest. Squish that marshmallow onto the floor, bringing your pelvis into a posterior tilt. If you do not feel that marshmallow in the floor, that means your pelvis is an anterior tilt. So we are going to pull your navel toward your back and release. One more time. Pull that navel so my pelvis is going this way. The tops of my hips are going up toward my nose. And release. One more time. Pull that pelvis up towards your nose. Release. Take your right leg, put it out straight. You can take your hands out from underneath your head. Take that left leg in the 90-90 position and rotate it over your body. You should feel the lumbar stretch in your lower back. If you don't feel that stretch enough, you can also do it with a straight leg. And you can also provide some overpressure. When you've had enough of that side, slowly roll back, place your left foot on the ground, heel slide that out. Bring your right leg to you, over to the other side. Slowly come back up. Place your feet on the ground. We're going to work on our SI joint, sacroiliac joint. You're going to take your right leg and your right hand, and you're going to push your right leg into your right hand and push your leg out with your... So you're pulling this way with your leg and pushing this way with your hand. So it's a push-pull, hands on your thigh. Take your left hand, put it on your hamstring, and you're pushing into that hand. So left leg, hand behind your hamstring, you're pushing into that hand and pulling up. Same thing other side. It's a push-pull both ways. Release. One more time. Switch sides. Push-pull both sides. The last stretch we'll do today, we're going to roll over onto our side. We're going to stretch the outside one more time. We're going to bend that bottom leg to 90 degrees. We're going to take that top leg and put it behind you. And put it on the ground. You should feel the stretch right through here. Come back to center, switch sides. Bend that bottom leg. Bring that leg out behind you. Remember to stay stacked. Shoulders are on top of shoulders. Hips are on top of hips. Bring that back to center. Slowly get yourself up onto your knees or standing, whatever you're feeling. Take those hands, bring them back behind yourself, stretch out your chest.